So according to your testimony yesterday and in this committee, according to the evidence the FBI has, the number of names on the list are zero.
No,
zero.
The index has been released, and the number of people involved in that trafficking operation were charged in 2018.
Other than Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell, your testimony in the Senate and here is that according to the evidence you have, the number of other names is zero.
That were charged based on credible evidence.
Well, who are the other names? Give me the other names that weren't charged.
Hello and welcome to the channel. I'm Bran Cooper. During this hearing, Kash Patel was questioned about the FBI's willingness to investigate accusations that a document linking Donald Trump to Jeffrey Epstein was fabricated. What ensued highlighted the gap between conspiracy theories, legitimate proof, and the actual obligations of federal law enforcement. The key issue here isn't merely theoretical guessing. It's about adhering to established standards. Investigations don't commence simply because something goes viral. They start when substantial evidence and lawful reasons are present. This conversation makes that distinction crystal clear, which is why this moment in the hearing is definitely worth our attention. Let's dive in a bit deeper.
Gentleman yields back. The gentleman from Florida is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Before I begin, I want to caution my colleagues on, one-sided violence in this country. We just heard that there were no riots on the right. We're literally sitting in the building where there was a giant riot by supporters of the president, the right. We also heard that only leftists, have said that Trump is a Nazi. In 2016, the current vice president of the United States said, Trump is either a cynical asshole or he's America's Hitler. And so this is the problem. I don't want to have to say this garbage, but you want me to sit here and get painted with one brush, the whole left. No, there are extremes on the left, and there are extremes on the right. And we collectively should tackle that. But to come here and just look at us and say we all support what's going on in the extremes is why we can't solve anything in this building. Director, let me say first, thank you for being here, and my condolences on the loss of your friend. And I'm happy to hear that you want to do more on the social media platforms. It's crazy what's going on the social media platforms. There are so many conspiracy theories on what's going on with Charlie Kirk. Israel assassinated him, right? There are conspiracy theories about your personal social life all day. It is totally rampant. Big names on the right, Candace Owens, right? Talking about how what's been released as far as the dialogue between the perpetrator and his roommate is manufactured by the FBI, manufactured by the administration. It is totally rampant, allowing foreign governments to just perpetrate these platforms, all of these bots, all of the time to weaponize Americans. You see what's going on here? This is a byproduct of all of that. What's going on in the streets is a byproduct of all of that. What's happening is you see people celebrate Luigi Mangione is a byproduct of all of that. And so if we want to do something, then we should talk about Section 230. We should talk about how we're going to make sure that we don't let foreign governments poison our children's mind. And so I will work with you on that, Director.
I'll work with you on 230 any day.
No problem. So now, that was the good part. I want to take your attention back a second, okay? Breaking news. Kash Patel is nominated to be the FBI director. Dan Bongino is nominated to be the number 2 at the FBI. MAGA celebrates, rejoices, bells are ringing out. The team, Patel, Bongino, that sought out every podcast microphone to talk about the Epstein list. The names are finally going to get released. It begins. They produce white binders. Phase 1 with the podcasters. This is not actually one of them, of course. I made this. Your name's on it, right? And the names are going to come out. Pam Bondi says the list is on her desk. Then a memo comes out all of a sudden and says, there's no list. Oh, no phase 2. Phase 2 binders never happen. You said the conspiracy theories around Epstein just aren't true. They never have been. And yesterday, in an answer to Senator Kennedy, you said, the FBI is not in possession of any credible evidence that Epstein trafficked girls to anyone but himself. So according to your testimony yesterday and in this committee, according to the evidence the FBI has, the number of names on the list are zero.
No,
zero.
The index has been released, and the number of people involved in that trafficking operation were charged in 2018.
Other than Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell, your testimony in the Senate and here is that according to the evidence you have, the number of other names is zero.
That were charged based on credible evidence.
Well, who are the other names? Give me the other names that weren't charged.
We are not releasing the names of anyone because the Department of Justice never does that, of anyone that didn't have any credible information to attack them.
Let me move forward. The president has, you've seen the picture of the woman's body with the writing and the president's signature. The president says that's not his. Okay? President says it's not his. The Republican colleagues say it's not his. The administration say it's not his. Will you be opening up an investigation into the Epstein estate for putting out a fake document with the president's signature linking him to the world's largest pedophile ring? Will you be opening that investigation into that?
On what basis?
On what basis? They literally put out a fake document, according to the president, with a fake signature. It's a forgery of the president of the United States signature. That's the basis.
Sure, I'll do it.
Okay, I look forward to that investigation. Am I over? Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I appreciate your diligence.
The significance of this dialogue isn't rooted in the drama surrounding Jeffrey Epstein or the usual intense exchanges typical of such settings. It's the intersection of conspiracy theories, presidential authority, and the duties of federal law enforcement in a time flooded with misinformation that truly demands attention. The questioning representative begins with an approach increasingly scarce in hearings today, recognizing that political violence and radicalism occur across the political spectrum. This perspective is crucial. It's about addressing a deeper issue. Americans are being influenced by a milieu of baseless claims, foreign meddling, and viral content driven by algorithms. This backdrop is key to grasping why the Epstein matter surfaces repeatedly. For years, Epstein has been less a matter of a legal case and more a political inkblot test, with various groups casting their worst fears on it, often lacking proof, using these beliefs against rivals. Patel isn't questioned about Epstein's horrific actions. That's confirmed. Instead, he's being asked if the FBI possesses credible evidence implicating others not yet charged. His response is straightforward. According to the Bureau's evidence, no further individuals meet the legal criteria for prosecution. This is an unpleasant truth for those who anticipated a secret list to emerge. Yet this instant highlights the friction between what the public expects and what the law dictates. Federal probes aren't driven by gossip, trending posts, or online rumors. They are built on solid evidence, corroboration, and legal standards. Declaring no list exists isn't a vindication of the elite. It's an assertion about what can or cannot be substantiated in a court of law. The discussion intensifies when it shifts to a supposedly falsified Epstein document bearing Donald Trump's signature. This is where oversight takes tangible form. If a president claims a document linking him to criminal acts is faked, such an accusation could fall under federal scrutiny. Acts of forgery, deceit, and false document distribution are legal concerns, not political ones. Patel's remark that such an allegation would necessitate inquiry is a reminder that law enforcement duties persist regardless of the political ramifications. Legal principles remain consistent, no matter who stands to gain or lose. Moreover, there's a broader insight here regarding the spread of misinformation. Once a rumor gains enough traction, it compels institutions to react, even if the supporting evidence is flimsy or absent. Such pressure can skew priorities, damage trust, and breed more conspiracies when resolutions don't meet public anticipation. The essential takeaway from this exchange is evident. Unless Congress earnestly addresses the impact of social media giants, foreign bot interventions, and legislative shields, like Section 230, these cycles will perpetuate, regardless of who leads the FBI. Fundamentally, this moment isn't about defending or condemning Trump. It's about affirming whether truth holds greater importance than stories and whether federal bodies can operate independently of every viral controversy. Oversight hearings serve precisely for these junctures. to deliver clarity even when clarity isn't what some desire amid complex narratives. If you appreciate this analysis, remember to like the video, subscribe, and stay tuned. I'm Bran Cooper, committed to dissecting hearings and accountability moments that reveal the way power truly functions.